If you want to start creating and selling digital products, come join us over in the Digital Magic membership. You get access to my digital product bootcamp, 30 digital product ideas every single month, exclusive masterclasses, co-working sessions, 50 ways to promote your digital product, and so much more. Head on over to herownmagic.com/DMM, and I will see you there.
What's up, magical human? Hey, if you're like me and you want to create a bigger impact on the world, why not share your knowledge and talents with others? Welcome to the podcast where I share marketing strategies, product creation tips, and real-life stories of how women all over the world are using their knowledge and creativity to build a life and business they love on their terms. I'll share with you over a decade of knowledge and show you how you can take what you already know and do and package it into a digital product like a course, membership site, or digital download that sells globally. I'm Amy Jo, and you're listening to the Digital Magic Podcast.
There's this meme going around, maybe you have seen it, and I think I shared it on some of my socials, but it basically says, those of you who were told growing up that you talk too much, what do you do for a living now? And it really made me reflect and kind of chuckle and also just be like, wow, that's really interesting, because all through elementary school up until about 5th grade, I was very confident, didn't care what people thought. I was kind of a tomboy. I was friends with everybody. I just kind of did my thing. I didn't think too much really about anything. I still had anxiety. Those of you who have listened to this podcast for a minute, you guys know that that's something that I've dealt with since birth pretty much, but it was different back then. It was very different. So in 5th grade, everything changed, 5th and 6th grade. And this meme really made me reflect on what happened, because I was so confident. I've gone through these different waves of confidence, and it was just really interesting. And so in 5th grade, it was picture day. And like I said, up until this point, I didn't care what people thought. I was just kind of doing my thing. I would wear whatever I wanted. And on this day, on this magical picture day, I wanted to wear this really cute dress that I thought was so dang cute. It had these puffy little sleeves. It was white with pink little hearts. And I was just all about it. So I dressed up and I was so excited. And I get to school and every single kid was laughing at me. Why would you wear that? That looks so ridiculous. It made me cry. I cried the entire day. I cried so much that my teacher actually called my grandparents because my mom was at work. And she was like, can you please help this girl? Because everyone is picking on her. She's having a really hard day. She won't stop crying. Please bring her a different change of clothes. And I actually still have that picture because I did get my picture taken in that dress. So yay, solidified in time. But my grandparents ended up bringing up a separate change of clothes. I changed, and then I finished out the rest of the day. But I remember just being like, what the heck? I just wanted to wear what I wanted to wear. And what felt like at the time, 5th grade, what felt like at the time was everyone was just making fun of the choice that I had made. And so, being in that moment, you're not thinking, abstractly of how this could affect you long term. But looking back at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, that actually did. Because from that moment on, I was very concerned about fitting in, about what people think, about, not standing out too much, any of that. So that was 5th grade. So then 6th grade, this is where that meme comes in. In 6th grade, I had a teacher who was very, I don't know, it felt like he was out for me. I'm sure he wasn't, I don't know, but he always, every single day would comment on what I was saying, saying that I talk too much. What's your problem today? Saying things like that, you're having a really hard day today, aren't you? Because you cannot keep quiet, all of this stuff. And I remember just crying and blushing, and then he would make fun of how I blushed, and I can't control that. It was just this whole thing. And so from then on, through like middle school, through high school, even through some of college, I would just kind of sit there. I wouldn't raise my hand. I would sweat. Like if any of the teachers were to ask, like, who knows the answer to this? Even if I did, I would freak out and be like, please don't call me. Please don't call me. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to say anything. And that has been this little internal struggle back and forth of using my voice and sticking up for myself and sharing the knowledge that I have and really just believing in the stuff that I know to be true. And even up until last year, this is something that I still struggle with probably till this day, off and on. And if you look back at this podcast, you'll see dips in it where I just stop. And I stop sharing my voice and I go into this kind of cocoon thing. And maybe I focus on other tasks, or I get, distracted and things like that. And what's really interesting is I can pinpoint exactly when I started to change that mindset and really start to believe in what I have to say and my voice and using it and like showing up for myself. And I can see that in my analytics. I can see it on the analytics of my podcast. I can see it on the analytics of different things like on the back end of my website and the products that I sell. Like I can see places where I show up and I can see places where I dip. And I think that is so interesting. And so what I'm saying to you right now, if you're listening to this and you're feeling like you're in the dip right now and you're like, I don't know what I have to share. I don't know what I can create. Like, maybe you have a story that is kind of similar to mine where people have made you doubt yourself and made you question what you have to say and what you have to share, and you're still kind of in this box. I want to encourage you that 1, you are not the only one. 2, I've been there, so lean on me, like we can go through this together. But 3, you have so much knowledge and so much amazingness and skills and talent that you can share with this planet. And I don't want someone like your 6th grade teacher or the kids in the class in 5th grade who laughed at you or any of that. I don't want anyone in your past to hold you back from where you want to go in the future. And I will tell you that whatever you are trying to do, the goals that you are trying to hit, what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to create and put out there is just on the other side of you believing in yourself and believing in what you can create and what you can say. It's just on the other side. So all you have to do, and what I did when this meme popped up was like, that's really interesting. Let's reflect on that, because my answer to that meme, because whoever posted it was like, what do you do for a living? Comment below. And so I was reading through all of those and I'm like, I'm podcasting and I'm creating products and I'm like sharing my stuff. And I just think that's really interesting. I think it's really interesting for someone in 6th grade who got her voice shut down every day and questioned every day and like made to be embarrassed by things that I had to say, that this is where I am now. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a light switch that you're just like, I'm going to be confident today. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do this thing. You got to work on it every single day. And you're going to have days and times where you do dip. And that's okay. As long as you come out on the flip side and you still move on and you start creating your things. Okay? It's okay to dip. Just don't stay there forever. Now, as we get in to talking about how we even figure out like what we want to share, what do we want to talk about, what do we want to actually create and put out there, how do we figure this out? A lot of you who follow this podcast, and me myself, and you can probably tell that just by, I don't know, looking at my website, you can tell I have a lot of interest and I like doing a lot of stuff, and that's okay because people are multidimensional. You are not just one thing. I am not just one thing. I have a lot of interests, but what we need to do is we need to hone all of our interests and pick one that we can focus on and get that rolling and moving and bringing in some income. And then you start to add in another one. And then you start to add in another one. So a lot of times people will come in who are multi-passionate. They'll come into like the online space. And this is me. Actually, I'm not even going to talk about anyone else but myself right here because maybe you can relate to this. But I came into the online space and I was like, there's so many options. I want to do them all. I want to try everything all at the same time. I want to learn a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And what happens when we do that, and if you follow Alex Hormozy on YouTube or anywhere, he has a really good explanation of this, but it's basically when we are dividing our attention in our mind into a million different ways, it's really hard to grow any of them because 1, we're overwhelmed at all of the possibilities by all of these different ways, but 2, you're not giving enough time and attention to one thing to actually get it to grow. And so something that I have said on this podcast, but this is better the way that I'm going to say it because this is how he said it and the way he puts things is so much better. But I love the idea of multiple income streams. I think that is amazing, but focusing on one that grows and then adding the next and then adding the next. That way you're not overwhelming yourself and your system. And, when we do that, we're kind of on the hamster wheel of constantly like learning and trying a million things. And that can really lead to burnout really, really fast. So we're going to focus on one for now. And we're going to get that rolling and growing and bringing in your monies. And then we add in the next one. And what you'll see is you can use the money that you're bringing in from the first one to help get you started on the second one. So let's say you are someone who loves health and wellness. You're very into it. You want to start helping other people. You're like, well, I can create a course. I can create a membership. I can create an ebook. I can, do Amazon affiliate marketing. I can do all of these things. Where do I even start? And how a lot of people start, and how I would actually recommend you start, is doing the one-on-ones. So this could look like, one-on-one health coaching. It could look like one-on-one, gym sessions or something like that. But you're going to work one-on-one with these people for a while. Like, give yourself time. Give yourself time for it to grow. Give yourself time to get those testimonials and to really hear back from your people that you are helping what you're actually helping them with. Are you helping them with hormones? Are you helping them with working out? Are you helping them with eating right? Are you helping them with building muscle? Like, what is it that you're actually helping them with? And then once you have all of that data, because what you're doing as you're working one-on-one is you're collecting data. What you're doing is you're collecting that data that you can then turn into digital products, because you're going to have all this information of like, okay, all of the people that I'm attracting have this common theme. What's that golden thread? They have this common theme of, they are super busy and they have a really hard time eating right, and da 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 da. So you're going to start collecting that data of all the people that you work with, hearing directly from them the words that they are saying, that they're struggling with, what they need help with. You're collecting these points, okay? And then after a while, you're going to get those testimonials. You're going to get video testimonials if you can. You're going to get, proof if you want to, like before and after pictures, whatever it is. You're going to get these results so that when you go into creating that digital product, you have the proof to put into it. So you have, I have helped these people do this result, and I can help you too. And if you take this 6-week course, these are the results that you can expect. And it's going to be so much easier for you when you have that versus just jumping in straight to course creation from 0 to 60. I really think learning one-on-one, like when we do those one-on-ones, learning directly from the people that we're talking to is so important for so many reasons that I've just stated, but also for you, it helps you find your voice. It helps you find you. It helps you find exactly your zone of genius of what you can help people with. Do you see? It's so important. It is magical. It's a magical time. It's a magical experience. You might not like it for some of the time because, sometimes it's tricky to find clients, or sometimes you get like a tough client that is really challenging to you. But I want you, even in those situations where it might be kind of tricky and hard, it's all learning. So I want you to remember that it is all learning. It's all growth. It's all things that you can collect, all the data points to help you on that next step. So you're going to do that. You're going to get those one-on-ones, work on those one-on-one coaching sessions, we'll just call. And so you're going to start creating income from that. And then as you get into that next step, which may be an ebook, it may be that digital course, it may be, whatever that next step is for you, as you get there, you're going to have money for coming in from your one-on-ones. It's going to be even easier to use some of that money over here to either create your products, or to, if you want to drive traffic to them and you want to buy advertising, do paid ads or something like that. But then you're not running around doing like what I did. And I've told this story before, but back in the day, I just jumped into ads and I'm like, wait, I don't even have any money for Facebook ads. And so I went around my house and I sold stuff. I sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace so that I could have money for Facebook ads. Hello? Like, don't do that. But it's good times. I look on those times fondly. I learned a lot, okay? But this is going to be easier for you to start out this way, starting out with a one-on-ones, collecting that data, getting all of those testimonials, those results, and then transitioning into that digital product, okay? So we're going to start on one thing. So if you are feeling very multi-passionate, you want to do all the things all the time, totally get it. I'm right there with you. We're going to start on one thing. So what your homework is right now is you're going to get some paper. You're going to get a pen. And you're going to jot down everything that you know, all the skills you have, all the talents that you have, what you can help people with. You're going to do that by yourself in a room. Light a candle, make it a moment. And then once you do that, you're going to talk to people around you. And you're going to say, what am I really good at? How can I help people? Like, what do you see in me that maybe I don't see in myself? And they're going to give you stuff too. You're going to write that down. And then you're going to look at the list, this brain dump list of all the things. And you're going to go and you're going to circle your top 3. You're going to say, which one of these things feels most interesting to me that I want to explore over the next 6 to 12 months? Like, where do I want to put my time and energy and attention to over the next 6 to 12 months? Maybe on your list, maybe you have a list of like, I'm really into health and wellness. I'm really into building miniatures. Maybe I'm really into all of these different things, all of these different skills. But which one is the one that really sticks out to you? Of like, I would love to talk about that more and more. I can probably sit down and talk with someone about that for 30 minutes or an hour or weeks. What can I talk about? And that's going to give you the little sparkle, the little attention of a way that you can go as far as that first thing that you can create, that first offer. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the Digital Product Female Entrepreneurs Facebook group any questions that you have. I would love to see what you are working on. And of course, if you have not downloaded the free 65 digital product ideas, that mega list, you can go to herownmagic.com/65 and you can grab it right now. I'll see you in the next episode. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Aw, man, this episode's over, but that's okay. You can come hang out in the Digital Product Female Entrepreneurs Facebook group, hang out with thousands of us making digital products, creating awesome, cool things, and selling them to the world. Come get inspired, come hang out with us. There's thousands of us there, and we cannot wait to support you. Now, if you need some ideas on digital products that you can create and sell, go to herownmagic.com and download my freebie. It's 65 digital products you can create and sell by this weekend. It is waiting for you there. Go check it out. And you have an amazing week. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time. Go create your own magic.